Divine Rising Wild Hearts, it is like a Dara on another day of Manifest with Soul. And today we're going to be talking about the two ends when it comes to manifestation and what's blocking us. One end is going to be darkness, the other end is going to be the edges. And before we start, I have prepared us some lovely goddess tea, local here in Montreal. I'm going to pour myself one while making sure I also pour you one. This tea smells so good, trust me. So I'm going to place it down. Hopefully you're all having quite magical, here's yours, magical, blessed, fun, inner childlike experience as you navigate 2023. And as I'm navigating 2023 and I'm just been sitting with myself a lot lately, one of the things that came to my mind was my own darkness. I started thinking about how has my own darkness played a role in my journey of manifestation and my journey of healing and my journey of growth. And when I dove deeper into it, one of the things I used to really struggle with was celebrating dark deeds. And when I say dark deeds, I mean me getting joyful at the suffering and pain of others, especially if it was like me getting revenge. So me intentionally, consciously getting revenge on someone and being like, they deserved that. In those moments when we celebrate these dark deeds, when we make good of these things that we feel someone else deserves to be punished, even if they did something to us. And I'm talking about like the energy of the dark deed, the energy of like, oh, I'm so consumed by this person. I'm going to tell the world about how terrible they are. When we're sharing this with other people, we're actually inviting evil into ourselves. Evil thrives when we feel the most alive when we're in those dark moments. And there are going to be dark moments in our lives. I'm never going to say, hey, don't have any dark moments, love and light, because this isn't a love and light podcast. This is a love and light and anger and darkness space where we get to talk about everything. This video is about me sharing my energy and moving and stretching so that you can see my facial expression, so that you can hear the intonations in my voice, so that you feel what I'm putting down. So again, I got to, rephrasing, to let go of the joy of those dark deeds so that evil wouldn't thrive inside of me. Because when I was inviting evil inside of me, what I was also doing is I was giving ammunition for that darkness inside of me to win more internal wars. Because within with every war and battle, there's always two aspects to it. There's the battle and the war within, and there's a battle and the war without. In the battle and the war within, I was feeding it by being like, this person deserved this. I'm going to talk shit about these people. I'm going to do these things. I was so focused on everyone else's things that I wasn't even focused on healing myself. So I was giving more swords and more shields and more ammunition to the darkness and evil within me, while at the same time complaining that I wasn't manifesting the things that I was calling in. I was journaling, I was scripting, I was speaking things into existence, and I was so connected to the divine in some ways, shapes, and forms, and yet things were taking longer to be. And it's because on an energetic level, I was actually giving more energy to others. I was giving more energy to my own inner darkness. And when I started to pull back and not focus on what was going on in everyone else's lives, this isn't a Kadara, stay in your own lane, every one of you stay in your lane. You can stay in your lane and still see the outside world. I just didn't continue to keep stopping. I just kept walking. I can walk in my lane and see everything else going on in the rest of the world and still be okay. I can judge and analyze things and make the best decision. Would love to clarify right now because I do believe there's a misconception with the word judge, and I always look up the etymology or origin of words. And to judge something simply means to analyze it and then make the best decision. We judge every day. We judge when we go to the supermarket, when we're looking at the vegetables or fruits. You're like, I don't like this one. That's a judgment. We see people, we feel their energy. Yes, we judge them and say, this person isn't resonating with me, so I'm not going to hang out with them. It's a judgment. Doesn't mean it's bad. So we're going to judge everything within our life. So use your judgment wisely of where you're going to give your attention, intent, and intentions to. I'm not going to give it to the dark deeds or evil thoughts that will cause me to provide more for the evil to thrive within me. The ability to release that is so powerful, in that now your energy is being pumped and flowing into an area that just feels more aligned with you. And as I said before, there's that darkness within, and obviously without is when we have nothing and everything outside of us that we can't control. There are so many things going on outside of your life that you can't control. So I learned to only focus on what I can control. I can't focus on the way anyone reacts to anything I do, because you could tell someone you love them and they receive it or they reject it. You could say good morning or divine rising to someone and they acknowledge it or they block it. You can't control that. What we can control is how we react. So when it comes to these deeds, these dark deeds, this evil around us or within us, control how you react to it. When you're able to control your breathing, you're able to control your emotions, which supports you in navigating within and without. And as you begin to navigate through that darkness, there's the other end, which is the edge. And the edge is where we're met with those areas of our life where it gets uncomfortable. When things really get uncomfortable and we're met with that edge, we have a choice. We can either take the leap, we can either stay on the ledge and contemplate whether we will eventually take the leap, or the other end is going backwards and being afraid, in some instances, of change. Now, there's going to be many instances in our lives where you don't need to take the leap, where it's okay to just sit there and take a break on where you are and reflect before taking the leap. And for me, manifesting has been so much more powerful when I've met the edge and just quantum leaped and been like, you know what? I don't even know what's going to happen on the other end, and I'm still going to leap. Now, I'm not saying quit your 9-to-5 job right now and just, go all the way in on something new. Have a plan. It's not a safety net of saving money is not a dangerous thing to me. If meeting your edge is leaving your 9-to-5 job, and your 9-to-5 job provides you with all the necessities to eat and sleep and all these things like that, start saving money now. And while you're in the 9-to-5 job, understand that there's a block of time from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. And there's a block of time between 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., which you could use those hours to focus on your business or whatever it is you're going to do when you get out. Yes, you would have longer days, but those longer days would shorten when you do leave your job. Meeting your edge and taking the quantum leap means taking the quantum leap into the unknown, trusting the process, God, source, universe, whomever you believe in, and just being like, you know what? I'm going to take this quantum leap. Everything's going to work out, and I will figure out the steps after I've left. I've leapt so many times into the unknown and landed on my feet. I've landed on my back. I've flown for a little bit, but I will always, and you will always float. You'll always float on the water. You will always be able to stand on the earth, as in get back up, because you are resilient. And once the dust is settled, the ashes have settled, the water is still, you have the opportunity to look back and reflect and say, now that I'm here, now that I've established myself, this is my new sanctuary. Everything is flowing. I am learning in this space. What can I do to get from where I was to here? And when you actually learn how to go backwards, it creates a path for others. We're bridge makers. Quantum leapers are bridge makers. They're ladder makers. They're connecting the divine and the mundane. That's why quantum leaping is so powerful. It's a connection between the mundane, the everyday life, and everything that people are pretty much striving to experience in some way, shape, or form, whether it's an energy journey or a spiritual journey. So imagine how amazing it is if you remove these dark deeds that are like an anchor to your ship. And if these dark deeds and this evil energy that's been slowing you down because you're so focused on everyone else, if you literally just release the anchor and don't have an anchor, and you just allow your ship to just sail into the unknowns, trusting the process that everything will work out, and it's not always going to look the way you want it to look. That's another lesson I had to learn. I got to learn, rephrase. I got to learn that I get to get rid of my tunnel vision of how I think my success should look, because I trust the process. Maybe me getting this one client versus the 10 clients I desired. Maybe this one client is the person that will refer me to the other 9. Or maybe these 2 clients refer me to the other 20, or whatever it may be. When making quantum leaps, allow yourself to trust the process and surrender to the point where you're like, you know what, I don't even know what it's going to look like. And I know it's all going to work out, because it is all going to work out. It's going to work out just as smoothly as this tea's working out right now. So I will cheers to you as we both embrace releasing these dark deeds being celebrated, this evil thriving within us, and meeting our edges. Now, there's no shame or guilt in turning around and walking back and reflecting, because there's something you desire to take care of, whether it be some type of past experience or present experience that's going on. Reflect all you need to. Just know that that edge is always going to be there. And when you are ready, meet that edge. And I say, let's get it, let's go. Oh, this tea is so good. Enjoy yours as well. Many blessings.